Welcome back, history enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the remarkable life of Martin Luther, the man whose bold actions sparked the Protestant Reformation and transformed the course of Christianity forever. But what drove a humble monk to challenge the might of the Catholic Church? What changes did his actions bring to the world? Join us as we uncover the story of Martin Luther, a revolutionary voice that echoed through the ages. Born in 1483 in Eisleben, Germany, Martin Luther grew up in a modest household. His father aspired for him to become a lawyer, and Luther followed this path for a time. However, a life-altering experience struck when he was caught in a violent thunderstorm in 1505. In fear for his life, he vowed to become a monk, stating, "Help me, Saint Anne, and I will become a monk." During his studies, Luther grappled with the teachings of the Catholic Church. He was particularly troubled by the sale of indulgences, a practice that allowed people to pay for the forgiveness of sins. This practice sparked his desire to reform the Church and led him to question the very foundation of Church authority. In 1517, Luther took a monumental step by nailing his 95 Theses to the door of the Wittenberg Castle Church. These theses outlined his objections to the Church's practices and called for a return to a more personal faith based on Scripture, not tradition. His theses highlighted crucial theological points, such as the belief that salvation comes through faith alone, not through works. This radical approach resonated with many who felt oppressed by the Church's practices. The posting of the 95 Theses didn't go unnoticed. The Church's initial reaction was to dismiss Luther and demand he recant. In 1520, Pope Leo X issued a papal bull condemning Luther's ideas. But instead of backing down, Luther stood firm, saying, "Here I stand, I can do no other." Luther's defiance lit the spark for a larger movement against the Church's authority. This resistance led to a series of confrontations, including the Diet of Worms in 1521, where Luther was summoned to answer for his teachings. At the Diet of Worms, Luther famously stated, "Unless I am convinced by Scripture and plain reason, I do not accept the authority of popes and councils." This declaration not only solidified his role as a leader of the Reformation, but also marked a crucial moment in the history of religious thought. The impact of Martin Luther's actions was profound and far-reaching. His challenge to papal authority led to the rise of Protestantism and the splintering of the Catholic Church. New denominations emerged, each interpreting Scripture differently and offering new beliefs about faith, salvation, and the Church itself. Luther's translations of the Bible into German democratized Scripture, making it accessible to ordinary people. This encouraged personal interpretation and diminished the Church's gatekeeping role over religious texts. The Lutheran Church was established shortly after, and similar movements like Calvinism and Anglicanism began gaining traction throughout Europe, significantly altering the religious landscape and sparking theological debates that continue to this day. The Reformation coincided with the Renaissance, a period of renewed interest in arts, sciences, and classical knowledge. As individuals began to question established doctrines, they also sought new ideas, leading to a flourishing of intellectual and artistic activity. The new focus on humanism emphasized personal experience, which paralleled the principles of the Protestant Reformation: individual faith over institutional dogma. Artists such as Albrecht Dürer and Hans Holbein used their works to reflect Reformed values, while playwrights and philosophers challenged traditional authority through literature and thought. The legacy of Martin Luther and the Reformation has left an indelible mark on modern society. It laid the groundwork for religious diversity and shaped ongoing discussions about faith, freedom, and governance. The principles of religious tolerance and individual rights echo through history, influencing the democratic ideals we cherish today. Educational reforms stemming from the Reformation emphasized literacy and personal interpretation of texts, which has influenced modern educational practices. The push for literacy and access to the Bible encouraged the spread of knowledge across classes. Luther's translation of the Bible into German made religious texts accessible to the public, inspiring countless translations into other languages and fostering movements towards secular education. As we conclude our exploration of Martin Luther's life, it becomes clear that his journey was not just about challenging the Church. It was about igniting a movement that transformed the very fabric of society. His courage to stand for his beliefs resonates through centuries and continues to inspire individuals to question and seek their truth. If you found this exploration of Martin Luther and his impact on the Reformation enlightening, please like this video and subscribe for more engaging stories from history. We want to hear from you. What aspect of Martin Luther's legacy do you find most compelling? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's discuss. Thank you for joining us in this insightful journey through the significant life of Martin Luther and the monumental changes he inspired. As we continue to explore the complexities of history, may we learn from the past to shape a better future. Until next time, keep looking to the past and let it inspire your path forward.